Season 3 of The Pass is here. I know it's long overdue. We have a new intro. We still got the same content. Well, actually, it's a little bit of new content because there's new things going on in 2019. So buckle up. We got a lot of things to talk about on The Pass. What's up, y'all? What's going on, man? Episode 251 of The Pass is here. I'm not going to really do any long, drawn-out intros or outros. This is going to be a very brief and transparent podcast, only because the content that I really want to share or talk about in this show, I want to save for my next show because I feel like that's going to be a more heavy-hitting, unpacked-based topic. But I will talk about the title because I know that story happened. So I don't want to leave that on the table because, I mean, let's face it. It was only one of the biggest free agency acquisitions in the off season. And that's to take nothing away from Golden State losing Kevin Durant or Anthony Davis going to LA. This one had a little bit more substance, a lot more meaning, only because no one really knew what was going to happen with Kawhi. And the short version of it is Kawhi wanted his decision to be his decision. He didn't want it to be any speculation. He didn't want anyone to leak anything. He didn't want any rumors to report anything. He wanted the choice to be what he wanted it to be. We did our podcast on last Monday. Nothing happened. When the 4th of July hit and there was no announcement, I said either one or two things is going to happen. It's going to be on Friday or it's going to be at a blind whim on Saturday. And oddly enough, it happened on Saturday. I was out partying or hanging out or whatever. And I come home. I'm like, okay, I'm going to just lounge, wind down for a little bit and then prepare for, just a chill day. And in the process of preparing for the chill day, it turned into, or not even chill day, but like I was winding down because it was like, all right, I need to get rest. I got to get up in the morning, stuff like that. And in the process, I literally get the notification saying Kawhi's going to the Clippers. When I saw the story on the news, like ESPN is announcing it and they're leaking the story, it was even bigger because it wasn't just that Kawhi was going. Oklahoma City then pulled a trade off to get Paul George out of OKC to join Kawhi to go to the Clippers. That didn't generate a lot of recent rumors, which I'm not going to get into those, but I wanted to at least get on and talk about just that trade or that free agent acquisition, which it made Kawhi do what no one saw coming, which is now if you look at all of the teams, we're now, and this would have been a better title, is we're in the NBA Jam era now. We're in two-man weaves. Like what two-man combo is going to be that two-man combo to do work? Houston has CP3 and Harden. Golden State obviously is the Splash Brothers. When he comes back, Brooklyn has Durant and Kyrie. They even added Boston with Kemba Walker and Jason Tatum, which I have no problem with that. The Lakers, obviously, Anthony Davis and LeBron. You could even make a case, and it's funny because they joked about it when they showed the teams like Toronto, for instance. Toronto, they put Kyle Lowry and Drake. And it just tells you, it kind of tells you the movement or the wave that we're on with basketball now. Even down to your young teams, Denver, Jokic and Jamal Murray. Obviously the Blazers, Dame Lillard and CJ McCollum. So I'm just naming all those two-man weaves because that's basically what the Clippers are going to have as far as like a genuine 1-2 punch. If you look at their lineup, they have a lot of key role players. Montrezl Harrell, who I still regret Houston letting go. Lou Williams, one of the top 6 men in the NBA, should be an early candidate for the award next year. You're looking at a lot of like I said, a lot of role plays. They did give up Gallinari, which a lot of people were shocked, but it's also they're looking to build, as needed, and it'll help OKC because I think OKC is going to pull the trick on trying to get Westbrook out because Westbrook was under the impression like, okay, if y'all giving these we worked on George getting a new deal, what pieces came into play with the Thunder, and if you really look at the Thunder really didn't get a lot of good players, so it just kind of went the way it did. So I'm like I said, if I give my condensed podcast talk with what I had content and topic wise, U.S. women won the World Cup. Big controversy of the women's teams not being paid as equally as men. That's a personal topic that I can't really get into per se because I'm a guy. I would love to have women on the show for that podcast. So if you are listening and want to chime in on that based on equal pay, passpodcastbt@gmail.com. I would appreciate it. Also, Big Three did have their matchups go on. There were a lot of games. There were the usual 6 on that weekend. On this past weekend. CONCACAF was last night as well. The men's team, U.S. men's team lost, which sucks. I've already mentioned about the trade lineage. And baseball did lose a young one, Tyler Skaggs. I'm freestyling a little bit because, like I said, I don't have any topics sitting in front of me like I normally do, but they have not given any further in-depth details as to how he died, but they did mention that indeed Tyler Skaggs, who did pass. So I got the name right. Yeah, all the free agency hits during that time were blindsided. Isaiah Thomas went to the Wizards. Marcus Morris went to the Spurs. Galaxy's looking to do a redesign of their Galaxy Fold, or it is completed. Spotify is not going to be allowing direct uploads for indie artists, which kind of sucks, but hey, business is business. The asses of the week. There was a man who decided to do blackface in an attempt to protest how blacks, I guess, are treated based on them getting a fair trial. I don't know what his direct motives were. Like I said, I'm not going to hit these topics too heavy. I'm going to hold these topics. I'm going to pocket them for the next show. And I will go ahead and let you know next week's show, even with things possibly changing for the better, I'm looking for it to be a big show. Only because we might break 2 hours again. I have my friend Breeze back on. We're gonna unpack some of his top 12 and top 10 picks for quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, point guards, and other positions that I won't get into yet because the list still baffles me, and I'll just leave it at that. But all of that being said, I'm giving y'all just a quick story. Didn't want to just not record this week, so this is what I have, and it's not just me throwing something on the show just to put in a space, but it's also because anyone who has been supporting the podcast is here to get content. So Kawhi shocked the world. And it makes the Clippers relevant again. Could possibly be a finals contender. So that's what we got. But anywho, if you do like the show, definitely subscribe. You can listen to the show on multiple platforms: Overcast, Acast, iHeartRadio, Radio Public, Spotify, iTunes. I'm not on SoundCloud, Spreaker, anywhere that your Google Podcasts, wherever your podcast listening goes, my podcast is there. So definitely check it out. Look for The Past Brian or The Past Podcast Brian. Or like I said, just go to pastpodcast.com. The voice you're hearing is crisp and clear through the Blue Yeti microphone. And those links are, as always, in the show notes. Until next time, Pat signing out. Y'all take it easy. Another episode is in the books. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. As I always share, if you'd like to get into podcasting, you can check out Spreaker.com. And if you're looking to invest in a microphone, or if you're looking to genuinely start with recording, I use the Blue Yeti microphone, but you may prefer to do the Samson Meteor. Just know that if it's your craft and it's something that you're meant to do it and do it well. That's my main thing to tell people about 2019. Do it and be reliable. Y'all take it easy.